welcome to a spooky, scary, boo episode. Yeah, whoa, hey, oh, that's too scary. That's too scary. Take it, hey, turn down.
Look at our tour.
Look at that, right in the back. We have our lights. We have our
studio tour.
Spiders. We got some cursed books with next to a baby Yoda.
This is pretty scary.
Oh, and a boo pillow. But welcome everybody to this week's episode 26. What's up, everybody? This is the first week of October, so we're gonna have a little scary themed, obviously by our background, podcast this time around. And speaking of scary stuff, we got some super scary Evolving Skies because it's scary how good these cards are gonna be.
This is actually the monthly gift box that we got from
Pokesteels. So at Pokesteels,
he gave us 4 packs.
Exactly.
Is
awesome.
Zaddy.
For sure.
He is Zaddy.
Alright, so before the pod, I told Dom to pick my pack. He just picked it right now.
Okay.
Umbreon pack art.
I am gonna have our production B pick my pack.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, don't pick the green boy.
Wait, she hasn't picked your
She can pick whichever one she wants.
Are you gonna pick the 5-star hotel?
Probably.
It's gonna be.
There's 2 of them.
Oh, scary. Oh, scary.
Dom also put a little bit of
voodoo
magic in there. Yeah.
A little hex.
Really quick. I just want to show everyone what we got.
And we're going to be also opening these after our podcast. We're going to be doing a live stream of these. So check out on Instagram for our live stream. We got these beautiful Japanese. What are they called specifically?
Shiny Star V set,
Shiny
which is just an all-star set of
V.
all their shiny cards.
Beautiful. Show me the side.
It was only released in Japan. This is actually a booster box, so this is 10. Normally, a booster box is 36 packs, but this is 10. That just shows you how rare they are.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're going to be opening those live after the podcast. So check out our Instagram because we have our live streams for that one coming up right after this. But we're getting ready. We're getting zoned in. We're getting ready. And actually, I'm so rude, but I'm joined by this week.
Venom.
Venom.
Carnage.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's me, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Agree. That should be. All right. So let's get into these packs. Open them up. Let's open these packs up. Let's get into
so we know
it.
that the standing is 8-7.
8-7. Matt isn't.
Johnny is in the lead.
I thought Matt
the
was.
last pack battle.
But John is in the
Production
lead.
B picked a white card pack.
Oh, good start. Oh boy. All right, let's wait for John.
Please, Daddy Dom, give me a white card, Daddy
He's
Dom.
got greasy fingers.
Daddy Dom gave me a white card.
Oh, 2 white on white. All right. All right, let's get him over the table.
What do we want?
Let's see. All right, everybody take a guess.
Fire.
Fire.
Dark. Oh,
Steel.
It's Halloween.
Fairy.
Dark. Oh,
Ooh, 1,
2, 3.
Oh, steel it is. All right, here we go.
Today too.
Let's see it.
Very cute.
So that's
Blue
10
Shake,
pushes.
Matt's favorite card.
Oh, pumpkin.
A lot of birds.
Oh, good Halloween.
That's cool.
So far, Matt's in the lead with that pumpkin boy.
Oh yeah, no.
He's got the
It's very cute.
elemental of the
let me get to my reversal. Okay.
the holiday boost. Wait, let's see Matt first.
All right.
Let's see.
VMAX.
Oh my goodness!
VMAX.
Good boy. That's very, very, very nice. All right, here we go. Here we go.
What do we got here? Oh no, not
good.
All right, very cute.
Not bad.
He's
That's
very
cute.
handsome.
But I mean, oh boy, the full RV Max.
boy.
Ooh.
Wait, but this one's so cool.
That is
That
pretty
one is
sick.
cool.
That's
Because he's
sweet.
very well fed.
Yeah, and very well shiny.
Yeah.
So Dom, the judge, who takes it this time? Are we tied up?
Oh no, Matt obviously won.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh all
He
right.
got the VMAX,
that's
and
a
then
tight.
he got the Halloween themed Pokemon.
That's true. Yeah, he had
Yeah.
the double.
Yeah.
That was a very
fire.
good pack for me, and justified because that brings me to 8-8. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's
Yeah,
the
now we're all
fact
tied up.
First time like we've actually had a white card versus like a white card.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, like they've just been like kind of one-sided beatdowns.
I know. For real.
Exactly.
So,
You know, it could technically like the game could have been a lot different if you didn't have to forfeit last week.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I thought I had cards here, but
you know
Huh?
what? So then
My
that
brain's
makes it
playing
even
tricks
more
on me.
deserving win for me.
Yeah. You know, Dom, maybe if you pick better cards, maybe he would have won.
Hey.
Why didn't you pick a better pack?
Hey, it's all part of the game, bud.
I'm not looking
There
for
was
a
a
pack.
Rayquaza
I'm looking
right
for
there.
a white, okay? That's all I'm looking for.
You know what? Hey, he did his job.
You know what? I cursed you.
Oh, Hex? He put on a Hex?
No.
A Hex?
No,
A Halloween
please,
Hex?
Please, no.
He did his job and got you a white card. The rest
I'm gonna
is
curse
up to
you then.
Oh, a Hex back?
Yeah.
Oh,
What are you cursing?
I don't know if he can Hex a Hex, but he's gonna try.
That it's gonna be diarrhea for any time of.
Oh.
That's not a bad thing.
Oh.
Well, on that note, speaking of sneaky exits, we're gonna go ahead and cut the video here. But once again, our pulls were the very pretty VMAX with the Halloween
and we got the
boy.
pumpkin boy.
Oh, look at that pumpkin boy, very cute.
He's
And then
well
our
fed.
hollow,
Hollow,
right?
right?
Cheeks.
10,
Look
10
at
right
those
here.
cheeks. Those cheeks are so
That
full.
literally looks like 10.
He got some full cheeks.
Kind of looks like my cat.
Very
Very full. Very full and juicy.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and cut the video here.
God damn it.
All right.
I had a great lead.
There it
Yeah,
is.
great
There
lead.
was our Pokemon bit. And since we're still on the topic of Pokemon, we have some more Pokemon news
Yes.
to kind of dive into. Starting off with the Pokemon 25th anniversary, the album. Release some more the songs that they're going to be playing, or no, actually not songs, but
The artists.
the artists,
that are gonna be on
the exact artists, exactly. So it's going to be Sin. I don't know who that is. CYN.
I have no idea
Mabel.
who that is.
Post
Don't know who
Malone.
that is.
Yeah, Post
J Balvin.
J
Jax
Balvin.
Jones. I don't know who that
I know who
is.
that is.
Tira Whack. I
Don't know
have
who
no
that
idea who that
is.
is. Vince Staples. He's not bad. Katy Perry. Lil Yachty. Yaffle. I don't know who that is either. Luann and Zoo. I don't know who Zoo is either.
I'm
Got a
just
very
hyped for Post
diverse.
Malone.
Got a very
Post,
diverse
Post,
album here.
version.
Posty,
Very excited.
Posty loves Pokemon.
Very
I know
interesting.
that about him.
His concert was actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
Like his
dude,
little,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually sick,
It was
yeah.
like 20 minutes long, but it was
sick.
pretty
But
sick though.
like
It was
something
really neat,
interesting
too.
though about Post Malone is that like he has like a good range. So you could do like country, you could do like old time. So
Yeah.
like I
Very
think
flexible.
that'd be it'd be cool if you branched out a little bit more.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And so, since we're still on the topic of Pokemon, we're going to keep it going. Next, we're going to talk about... so, Pokemon recently had a sort of promotion for the 25th in association with Oreo. So, Oreo, you know, they're doing kind of these nice little prints on the cookies with different Pokemon. And supposedly Mew was one of the most rare cookies that you could possibly
Right.
get in a pack.
Oh.
Yeah.
And recently, there was some news that somebody out there just bought a Mew Oreo for $15,000,
Which is ridiculous.
which is insane.
Insane.
Which will be
Outrageous,
so.
actually.
And this, you know, for those of you who don't know, this is going to be worth. So the current most expensive, I think, card. Well, not I guess expensive card, right? Is the first edition base Charizard.
Yeah.
Which
that's
is
the Grail. That's
very
Grail of
the
Grails.
top,
That's the
like
king.
the king of grails.
Yeah.
And currently, it's worth more than that. This cookie, this Oreo.
Or
Mew
well,
cookie.
like that's what this guy is like trying to say that it's
Right,
gonna
yeah.
that it's gonna
That's what he's
like
stating.
get there,
Yeah.
that it's gonna
But-
get there. But
I mean,
I don't.
I think
I don't see it happening.
I do think though that the Charizard has a better advantage though, because the thing is like when those go in bidding wars, those usually go up to the hundreds.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
And like nobody's gonna. I don't think anybody's gonna bid past like at
Now
20 G's
I
on an
think
Oreo.
they've like been valuing a PSA 10 Charizard base first edition
Yeah.
at close to $1 million now.
Jeez.
So.
Yeah. No. And
But
then,
I just kind of thought that this Oreo thing was a joke with the Mew, because I've seen people post them for $50 Mew Oreo. This
I've
and
also seen like a lot of people we know also say that they've pulled one out of there, so I have a feeling it's not as rare as people think.
my brother Angel, he was like, "Oh, dude, those like Pokemon ones are cool." And I walked downstairs, and was like, "Dude, but like I just ate this Mew one." I was like, "Dude, I just want to take a picture of it so I can put it on my Instagram."
The
and
Mew
then
was
you
so
can eat it."
yummy. He was just
Yeah. So, but like I just kind of thought it was a joke that everyone was actually trying to sell.
I don't know,
them.
and then
I
people
just
are
thought that
putting
they
them
were
online
selling.
for like $1,000. And no, but and it's crazy though because like they're actually being taken in by these like companies that grade cards, and
they're getting grades for them. So that's a little ridiculous.
We are now grading Oreos. That's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
I wonder how you send that over.
I also think it's ridiculous because Oreo's never had a scale for grading before, so it's like they're just like scamming.
They're just setting the market.
They're just like the quality of the cookie's delicious.
Actually,
it's like I gotta taste it to find out.
The meal's fully printed on the cookie.
I mean, just look at the cream on that cookie. Like,
and then this meal is very centered on the cookie. It's like it could have been towards the left, and the cookie's not tilted. It's
no cracks in the cookie
flat.
either.
I bet it was harder to find the actual Pokemon pack of Oreos than the Butte. Like, I just have a feeling.
Sure,
yeah, because I think they sold out at our Walmart pretty quick.
Yeah, they didn't have
it
any.
was literally there for like a night, and I grabbed one. And
then Angel ate them all.
Yeah, and
Angel.
And
Shout out Dragon.
Ate them all. Yeah.
And Dragon X34
enjoyed them
feast,
very much.
I mean, MCAT Hell Guide. So that's a new tag.
Shout
but anyways,
shout out.
But keeping on, all right. So now that we'll keep it on with the Pokemon theme that we're going through, next we're gonna go ahead and talk about some new secret rare cards that are coming, but they're secret rare character cards this time around, right? And one of the biggest ones that's been revealed that people seem to be really raving over is the fact that Trainer Red is one of the primary ones in this one, front and center, right behind his giant Pika. His Pika.
VMAX Pikachu, so handsome.
Pikachu. So what do you guys feel about that?
That card looks sick. I love that they're kind of like putting Trainer Red in the spotlight because he's such a cool character, and I feel like he does need a show, like a 24 season. No, 24 episode.
Well, that too.
Season show. Well, yeah. But no, but I love the card, but I do kind of have a problem though. Like I feel like they're just making up new things, like super ultra rare VMAX.
Oh yeah, no, like there's a lot of different rares. Yeah,
it's
rainbow rare,
like
amazing rare,
secret rare, secret gold rare.
Yeah. Oh, and then
so now we just have another one.
Different ones
and a couple of different.
But man, dude, these cards are gorgeous though. Oh my god.
I like the one with the black legendary.
Yeah.
Is that Crom?
I don't know.
No.
But they're pretty, especially that Mareep. That Mareep
is
very
new
cool. And the Gardevoir.
Like this is a new VMAX set?
It's part of a new up and coming set.
Like the card that you just pulled out, that's what they're gonna look like, kind of.
Yeah, but it's like an alternate art one where it's gonna be just like an
because all the cards aren't gonna be like that, but like that's gonna be one that you
super
can pull.
rare.
Yeah, those are like the. It's literally the same thing compared to Johnny's alt art Rayquaza.
Wow, I really like this
that
one.
He pulled. Like it's still a card,
but
it just has like a cool like artwork.
I still stand by that. Like I just think they're moving way too fast on this.
I know.
Like after a while, they're gonna lose value and like everything because they just have so many like.
Like things. I feel like they should do like an every 2 months thing. They drop a new set of cards every month.
Yeah,
and I feel like they have to slow down.
But I don't know. But next, still on Pokemon, there was some new Japanese booster boxes that have been revealed, and they look pretty wild because they have the main not X and Y, but the Sword and Shield Pokemon as their main promos in the front, which are pretty, very pretty cards. They're up on the screen right now,
nice,
but. We really don't know too much about these ones. These were like very early on.
Yeah.
But go on.
I was doing some exploring, and I think these character super rare cards are going to be a part of the same set that is coming up. We don't know the name of it because it's in Japanese.
Right.
Trying to learn.
So someone knows Japanese.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Please be our insider.
Yeah.
For Pokemon cards coming up.
But either way, John, I love these shiny cards that they came out with because we love these legendary dogs.
Yeah, no.
Because they're good boys.
Zacian and Zamazenta.
Yeah.
Very nice.
They're finally getting their own shiny cards, and we love that for these pups.
Exactly. All right. So, and then last thing on Pokemon, still on the subject of Pokemon, the last thing about it, they're going to be releasing some brand new Pokemon Funko Pops. Limited sort of series, a sort of short run on Pokemon, but they have a new, what is it, a silver Squirtle is what it is, and the cute little Dragonite as well.
That's my favorite one.
So very, very nice and very interesting to see what other Pokemon are going to be involved in this new set of, Pokemon Funkos. Very curious to see where they're going to take this.
Have they made a Charizard Funko?
I'm pretty sure
I think I've seen Charmander. I don't know if I've seen Charizard.
For sure they have the starters, like Pokemon, Pikachu, Charizard,
I think I got
Squirtle.
Buddy Charmander one time.
Yeah, but very nice looking Funkos.
Oh yeah.
Very curious to see what
really
else
excited
they're gonna...
about the Dragonite one. Oh,
that's a really pretty
that's
one.
gonna be sick.
But all right, so that's gonna close off our our little bit of Pokemon. But next, we're going to go ahead and get into our homework this week. We had Matt giving us some homework. Very interesting one because we had something a little calmer, I would say, especially because we went to the movies this week, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Matt, what did you have us watch this week?
All right, there's a
guys.
Charizard, and it looks
Found
sick.
out that there's a Charizard Funko,
Breaking
and
news.
it's a big boy.
Breaking news.
Ooh.
$99.
Breaking news on the
That's
pod.
nice. I like
He
his
looks sick.
eyebrows.
Yeah, no, he looks very mean.
But,
sorry.
Anyways, back to
classes
the
in
homework.
session. John, you might go to detention for class.
Interrupting the teacher.
What is?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not gonna go into it.
Yeah, no. But so I had you guys watch a cute little wholesome show called Doug Days.
Doug Days, yeah.
And it is a collection of shorts where we just follow Doug around of him being a dog.
With
Doug,
Carl.
but
And,
like Doug
Carl.
who?
Doug the dog.
From where?
From Up.
There you go.
It's
Yeah.
kind of
There
like
you
the
go.
sequel. It's
There
kind
you
of
go.
like the sequel of kind of like
Yes,
what happened.
technically.
Earlier.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, no, because it does show them in like the little intro of like them kind of buying
Selling
a
the
house.
blimp.
Yeah, well, like selling the blimp, looking at houses and stuff like that. But no. So how do we all kind of like it? It's a very quick watch. It's only like 40 minutes in total. There are 5 different episodes, about 10 to 8 minutes each.
Let's say a little bit spoiler free. I mean, yeah, it's a kid show. It's not really that big of a deal, but yeah, in case you're interested.
No.
I think, truthfully, out of all the homeworks we've had, honestly, this is probably number 1 on my list.
Really?
Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, despite them being shorts, it was just like really wholesome, just really
It's
good.
just good.
Yeah.
Like there were times where I was like, wait, can there be more? Like
It was
these are very
equivalent to playing like Animal Crossing.
cute. Yeah.
That I was just there, and then it's like, this is just a great time. Like, I don't want this to be over. This is a great time.
It was good.
Yeah, and that's how I felt too. Like they were just real smooth. They kind of felt, the best way I can describe them is it felt like those other Pixar shorts that like they already have. Like, you know, they have the collection of like all the Pixar
like
shorts.
bow
Yeah.
down with the
Yeah,
dumpling.
that's kind of what it felt like, but just like short little different cartoon, you know, like twists on.
Yeah.
Of course, just Doug and Carl just together, just causing mischief. Obviously, it's all about Doug like learning how to be a dog and like obviously like fighting his number one arch nemesis, which we'll get into right now. But very cool show. You know, very easy watch, short episodes. Every episode is
Great
no
for the
more than
kids.
like
Great for
11
kids.
minutes. Very,
it's very short,
easy
yeah.
watch for sure.
Yeah. So let's kind of go into spoilers. There's not really much
Yeah,
to
let's
spoil.
dive
It's
into
literally
spoilers.
just following Doug around.
Yeah, so this will be your
And-
spoiler warning for
yeah.
Doug Days.
Yes.
So, spoiler warning.
Go ahead and watch it. It is super cute and good for your mental health.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But other than that, boys, I was curious about what you guys thought about only the God, what's the kid's name?
Russell.
Only being in one
Russell.
episode. Yeah,
I think
Russell
it's
being-
good because I think truthfully, if they did make an up sequel, it would probably be around Russell. So I think this is good to just focus on Carl and Doug.
So they can kind of do a little side story and then give that kid
Trying to say Russell's a side
kind of
hoe?
like his own story, huh?
Trying to say Russell's a side hoe?
Possibly.
Yeah, and then he also comes in on like the last episode, and then I don't know if you guys kind of got that feeling too, but once the last one came up, and then he obviously comes out, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, he's also part of this too. Like we haven't seen him in like the other 4, but other than that, I also do want to kind of keep it short because like this is a short show. But what was your guys' favorite episodes?
Dude, that one's hard because there's a lot of good ones. The puppy one is great.
Oh, the puppy one was so good.
Probably, I mean, the firework one was really good too. Man, I don't even know, dude. Honestly, like, I can't even. I would say the firework one's probably my favorite. Honestly.
Yeah, I low-key really like the first one. There's something funny about like
The
him
squirrel.
first being introduced to the squirrel, and there's like that specific like thing that happens where they kind of get even. Like the squirrel loses all of his nuts,
Yeah.
and like he's like, you know,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like
that
that's
was the
it,
first one,
and then
yeah.
he puts his like head in Doug's mouth, and he's just like,
How many episodes
Can't
were they again?
wait.
5 or 6?
Five.
Five.
5. Okay, so the last one is Russell. Okay.
And production Bree wanted to say something as well.
Episode 1, that squirrel trying to reach for his like fallen food through the grate.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that's gonna be burned into my brain.
Oh, that's you.
Good.
It's me.
Yeah.
All of them are really good. I think Flowers for me though, just because like I like that, like, he's kind of, like, not just this, like, dog that everybody hates. He's, like, the dog of the town and all that.
Yeah.
He had, like, had his own, won an award for a hero dog as well. As well as, like...
a little medal.
Yeah, because he found the fire, which that was a really good episode, too.
Yeah.
I mean, and then, I love it, because, like, Carl's, like, I used to watch The Fire with Ellie, and obviously Ellie died because Up has, like, the literal, like, most saddest, like, 8 minutes of, like, any movie ever.
Oh, yeah.
And, he's watching with Carl now, but Carl freaks out because Doug freaks out because of the fireworks. So you're like, dude, it's such a dog thing to put in there, but I like that they put the headphones on him and he's just like
chilling.
Yeah, and
then I also love that Doug has broken like English, so he's like, I am brave now, and it's like
yeah, they had that whole that Doug joke where it's you didn't dig, you dug, and he's like, yes,
Doug.
that's me.
Yes, hey,
yeah.
I'm Doug.
I am Doug.
Maybe the squirrel will dead now.
It's just like such cartoon,
and I also feel like that's how like a dog would talk, just if he could like talk.
Yeah.
Also,
that's
how Calloway would talk.
Yeah, Doug's chonk too.
Dude,
he's a big boy.
Yeah, and then by the way, for everyone that doesn't know, Johnny has a cat named Ten.
Massive.
And if anyone were to see this cat, it has the same dimensions of Doug. It is very chunk.
I would
like
to disagree, but I can't. It's very similar.
She's on a diet.
Yes. Diet food
already,
but she's eating a lot of it. So I don't think we're doing this right.
She has to work on portion control.
Yeah.
But anyways, John, favorite episode.
Wait,
dude,
so does it mean she's
one.
fatter than Mr. Cat right now?
Oh yeah, dude.
All right,
BMI, dude.
Mr. Cat is like taller and like just like
longer?
a physically bigger cat.
Just mass.
And he has a big old like belly sack
so he
that
got
just
a swinging
sways.
pooch.
Bro.
Yeah,
Swinging pooch sack.
But Tenten's got these little arms and this
makes
very
her look
large
better.
body, and it just doesn't like.
So Mr. Cat really has those
justice.
fucking like those childbearing hips that swing that ass like left and right, right?
Yeah.
Just, like,
But it's in the belly sack too, because like it kind of looks like he's got a couple marbles just like
just
under his
swinging
like
that
torso,
sweet-
just like swinging
that
back
sweet-
and forth. And he has these giant fake balls too.
Yeah,
But that's a
Sorry,
whole
what?
giant fake
he
balls.
has giant fake balls.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You haven't seen him?
Tell me that after.
but anyways,
Yeah, no.
so
That's for another podcast.
any more
We're
questions
gonna take
for
it.
our homework?
Oh,
So John, here, what's your favorite?
Favorite episode, dude? That's a tough one, dude.
All right, well,
I said
mine
the
was
first one.
the puppies one, dude.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
especially
they
the
were
way
really
he was
good.
saying, "Oh, look at the puppies."
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
animated
just
really
watch-
good too.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
the way
Like
they were
Doug
running.
was animated really.
Well, I think that one had one of the best endings because then he ends up giving them the pig. And
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
oh, man, like, that was good.
Cute.
No, yeah, the
Yeah, no.
puppies one that was my favorite one.
Yeah, no, and alright, because that was my favorite one too. But because I thought it was just so cute of like Doug trying to like teach them things too,
Oh yeah.
and then like trying to like
Here, come and bark with me.
protect his toys too.
We can all do
Because
this
that's
together.
how
Calloway
is.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want anybody touching his toys.
Yeah,
And he's
don't
like,
touch
oh,
my
wait,
toys.
that's my toy? Thank you. Give it back. Thank you.
Alright.
Yeah, no, and I just
Yeah,
thought that was like super cute, but that's my favorite.
All right, here, let's go really quick. I want to
question?
hear. Well, like I was thinking about this because obviously, like I enjoyed the show. Would you guys mind if they made like a part 2 of this, like more?
Of Doug?
Yeah.
I think they might.
Or do you think it's just fine and just leave it? All right, that's it.
Well, I think they might because like the thing is that these are short, so like I feel as though it's not out of their way. Second, this is called season 1 on Disney Plus, so I would imagine they. I think the hardest part though is
Yeah,
that Ed Asner's dead, so this is probably like the last thing he did.
So
So
the voice
so-
actor of Carl.
Carl, yeah, he died like not too long ago, like maybe
Yeah,
a week
so
or
probably
so.
they won't then because I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Maybe they'll make Russell like the main
R.I.P.
guy
though.
or
Character,
something. Yeah.
maybe. I mean, if
He's
that,
just a
I
great
feel
voice
like the
actor.
only way they like a season 2 would be okay is if that's the case. If they focus on like Carl, I mean, Russell and Doug.
Yeah.
Unless
Instead.
they manage to find somebody that
Because-
sounds like similar, but I mean, like he has a very distinct voice. So
Yeah.
it'd be pretty hard.
Yeah, but
Doug and that kid though, that'd be some good times.
yeah.
I would not
all right,
mind seeing
really,
that.
Now, really quick, let's all give our rating.
Final rate?
Drew.
I feel like it was a real easy watch. You know, it wasn't anything super like meaty. It didn't, like it wasn't one that like changed my life. It was just like a real easy watch. Really well, pretty well animated. It was occasionally choppy sometimes, but the hair, like the hair quality of everything was really nice, and like the grass and the environments looked really good too. And then overall, just like Doug has such a like the best way I could describe this movie, or like the feeling it would give you, is it's just very uplifting overall, like the show.
Yeah.
It's not too serious. It's not sad at all. It's just very, like easygoing, very uplifting. It's like as if you're listening to a soft rock radio station. It's just like, it's just good times, Yeah, so that being said, I'd probably give it for, animation and everything. Story-wise, very interesting. I'd probably give it a 7.9.
Okay.
7.9, easy watch, real cool. Good for the kids, for sure.
Johnny?
For the rate, man, this was such a cute watch that I would be totally okay with if they did a couple more seasons. Yeah. Because it's like such a good like cool down from like going from a super intense kind of show to like going to something like this. And because like I was kind of watching the show and then I was like, oh, it's so cute. Super wholesome. But for the score, I'm gonna go 8.1.
Okay. That's fair.
Doug's the cutest.
I think like judging it, like I said, it wasn't very complicated. There's not like a up verse, like there's no no like story that has to be involved or anything. So it's just kind of like very basic, and I think that's what made it good, is that they focused really on just delivering messages on each episode. And there was no like hurrying up, there was no like arcs that were missed and all that. So and then I gotta hand it to the crew, apparently, from what I've heard, that I think B, you were saying it right, that they had to work on this from home, and they did such a good job.
Yeah.
That during COVID, that it was really good, and
corporate gear.
Yeah, so and like I said, it's very wholesome. There's a lot of great messages, especially like the end of the puppy one and all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 9.2. I thought this is very wholesome all in general.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm in the 8s here too. I thought it was a very easy watch, wholesome, super cute. I'm gonna be 8.2.
Hey.
Yeah.
Bree?
But yeah, just the homework.
I really, really, really like this show. Episode 1, my favorite. I give it a 7.8.
Okay.
It's a really, really solid watch.
Yeah, solid watch.
Cute.
Solid watch.
All right, cool. So that's going to be it for this week's homework. Stay tuned for later towards the end of the pod, because we're going to have some Halloween-themed homework this time, because we are in a scary month this time around.
So
we're going to...
It's kind of scary,
So we're going to dive into that a little bit later. But for now, we're going to go ahead and dive into the stuff we've been watching, the stuff we've been keeping up with. Starting off with, stuff that we've every weekly... I forgot about that. But we're going to start off with What If episode 8, which was kind of a big one this time around, a little bit more serious, something that has taken on a sort of different, entities in the in the comics, I should say, because it's kind of a big deal in the comics. It's like something that we really don't see. It's more of a... definitely a what if situation, and something we haven't seen at all, but very much I think a lot of people have thought about, because we didn't really get to see a whole lot of Ultron, just one whole movie, and that was pretty much it, he just dipped after that. But this time around, and by the way, we're going to dive right into spoilers for What If Episode 8. So if you have not seen it, go watch it and come back in, or skip ahead, because we're going to dive right into it. So, starting off once again, Ultron gets all of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Right.
And
he also got, his body, which is essentially Vision, which was supposed to be Vision, I should say. But he actually succeeded. He gained the body. And on top of that, the way he took down Thanos like nothing.
Oh my god, dude.
It was
effortless.
He does exactly what you think he's going to do. It's like, oh yeah, he has like the Mind Stone. Why didn't he just...
Well, he did it.
Well, he did it.
Yeah.
And then he just keeps going, because he's this crazy genius mind.
And he's just this robot who doesn't have any morals.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know anything. So like he's just like, all I know is that like there's chaos in the universe, and I'm gonna silence it. Yeah. That's all he knows.
Dude, I thought this one was freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Like with I didn't think it was gonna go that wild towards like the end, and then plus I loved his look.
Yeah.
Like I love that suit that he put on.
Yeah.
Like it looks really scary.
It was pretty sick.
Yeah,
go
for it.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say, like, I think, like, reading about all the episodes before they came out, I had a feeling this is probably gonna be like the best one for me.
Yeah,
and I think it's
the best one for
it is.
me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think it delivered like very
for
well.
real.
Oh yeah, no. And then like all the things with the Watcher too.
Yeah. So let me dive
Yeah,
into it.
yeah,
So we also have this sort of side story as Ultron is starting to gain strength. We see him getting Vision's body. We see him slowly evolving into the Vision we see in the movies, and then eventually he becomes obviously he has all the stones, so he has the armor. It's like a mixture of Vision and Ultron that we saw in the movie. But then on top of that, while all this is happening in the foreground, in the background, we see this interesting apocalyptic fight between Scarlet Witch and what's her name? I mean, Scarlet Witch. What's her name? Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And they're in the background just like fighting a bunch of Ultron bots, trying to essentially like hold off as much as they can and try and basically save the day.
Zola comes out again.
And we see a sort of thing that we saw later in the, and what do we see it in Civil War, or was it Winter Soldier? Right, Winter Soldier. That Zola, we see the robot Zola, well, not robot, but computer Zola, and he kind of helps, I guess, like
weirdly just kind of like does
or tries to.
Yeah. Well, for the deal after he gets basically like downloaded into one of the bots.
Yeah.
But we see how'd you guys feel about those scenes with like Black Widow and Hawkeye?
I thought that those were good, and I thought they did a really good job of like just like kind of portraying like, man, they're just holding on.
Yeah.
And especially when it goes to so they're in the bunker, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to find this file, and it's Zola's file, and they actually do, but dude, the part with Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Once he, dies, that was.
But also,
so,
like before that,
picture,
like trying to find the file too, and then like the dude tells like, "Come on, dude, like you're right there. Just do it. Just pull the file because this guy's dangerous.
Yeah.
And this could actually help." And then he doesn't get there, and then they eventually find the file. Because I thought that was like pretty cool to see, and then like
how he like wanted to intervene.
And he's got the power to, but he can't.
Speaking of that scene where Hawkeye bites it, what a beautiful picture, huh?
Once he's like
when he's flying downwards and he's shooting the arrow, like
that was so sick.
That was one of the most. I think so far in the entire series, I think that's probably one of, like this episode had some of the best like stills. Is that if you just froze the shot and you just looked at it. This episode had definitely some of the best. Like,
and then like this episode
like, it was very nice.
Felt kind of like a movie.
You could clearly
like,
tell.
It felt like a movie.
It's oddly enough though, you could tell like that Marvel kind of put a little bit more effort into this one, right? Like especially compared to let's say like the Thor one, where he was just kind of a party guy, like doing whatever. Like this one was very like you could tell they clearly like cared about a lot of the details, a lot of what was gonna happen. So I don't know. This makes me think that maybe something might lead from this, or who knows? Like involving the Watchers, involving something bigger. We're gonna learn a little bit more. But that being said, how did you guys feel about this sort of ending, where we sort of reach the end where the Watcher fights Ultron and loses because he's just not strong enough. He doesn't have the strength, but Ultron is just like unforgiving. He's just
and they were fighting through
quite literally a machine.
Yeah, through literally like the multiverse.
Yeah, they were fighting through different dimensions.
Turned into freaking Galactus at one point
and
ate a freaking universe.
Yeah, exactly.
He took a freaking bite of the whole universe.
No, and like that was like the other thing that I thought that was badass about this episode is the power scaling of like both of these guys were like going off the scale.
Yeah, no, because a lot of people really don't know that's like there's some crazy godlike powerful beings in the MCU, and we finally got to see that with obviously the Watcher fighting through different multiverses.
And we might see more in Eternals too.
Yeah, probably.
And speaking of this episode, they did.
There's a lot of strong people in this freaking world.
They did such an interesting detail in this one where there was a lot of energy-based attacks, right? Because obviously he has all the stones, and the Watcher is pure energy, right? He's just that's what he fights with. But they made a really cool detail in this one that in the comics back in the early days when Jack Kirby, was one of the main writers, one of his signature things, I was looking at one of those Easter egg videos that he used to do is that when there were like energy stuff, there were like little dots. They would call it Kirby particles. And so in this one, during a lot of the fights, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there were like those particles in this animation.
Yeah, like
so people were saying that it was like kind of like honoring Kirby of that like artistic style.
Yeah.
Which it did look really nice. It kind of made it a little bit different. It really stood out.
It reminded me of it more of like it really jumped from a comic book.
It reminded me of that episode of the Doctor Strange episode where like everything's falling apart at the end, and it's almost like the ink, like the comic book ink is just like melting and like it's already like falling apart. And that was this one was just the particles. This time it was like taking over. But again, let's the final thing before we dive into our next thing, the ending. So we see the Watcher duke it out with Ultron. It was a really cool battle, really nice. We see different environments and stuff like that. But then he loses. He basically gets pushed out, and he realizes that oh man, like I can't do this. On top of the fact that like he can't see what Ultron's gonna be doing next. You know, like he doesn't have the ability because Ultron's gonna be 2 steps ahead of him. You know, this is just something that's out of the Watcher's boundaries, surprisingly. But then we see him at the end only with our evil Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And they decide to make a deal after he asks them specifically, "I need your help." What do you guys feel about that?
Chills, dude.
Chills, but like I'm hyped. Well, I'm always hyped for the episodes, but now this one is literally like part 2. I'm gonna probably watch this one.
Yeah, almost part 3 when you think about it, because like the Doctor Strange one is like
because of Doctor Strange. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching this one as soon as it drops on Wednesday, 2 a.m. or 1.
Wait, so there's gonna be a part 2 of this one?
Yeah,
like for real?
Yeah, this is the final episode. Yeah.
No way. Let's go, boys. We're getting freaking spoiled.
I know.
Yeah, I do like that interaction between Doctor Strange at the end, because in the Strange episode, Strange also feels like the Watcher there. Like he like looks and he's like, whoa, did somebody say something?
Yo, who's that?
So then finally, like, you see, like, Ultron, he's so powerful that he's like, whoa, I see you. Like, who are you? Like, I see you. And he breaks that, like, barrier, which is insane. And
that also kind of gave me chills.
It was wild.
I was also kind of scared that, like, I almost felt like if I was, like, the guy that was watching, too.
Yeah, and
I was like,
he was, like, looking at me. Like,
oh, wait, hey, dude.
Can you see me, too?
Please don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
That gave me chills.
Well, that would have... It always reminds me of the movie Age of Ultron when Scarlet Witch says, like, Ultron can't tell the difference between saving the world and destroying it. So, like, that's literally what he's doing. And it was actually, like, really cool, too, because, like, they even go to Ego, and he takes over Ego. I would like them to do a what if Chris Pratt and Ego were together. Like, if they made, like, an actual... Like, they became the Celestial that they should have been. Yeah.
Like, that'd be a cool what if, dude.
All right, but last question. So, again, we're gonna go into a second parter, technically, for this finale episode to see what's how they're gonna close it all off. And I want to kick it off by asking you guys, what do you guys think is gonna happen in this last episode? And I'll kick it off by saying I have a feeling that the only other like really open-ended episode so far that we've had is the zombie episode. So I have this weird feeling that either the Ultron, this ultimate Ultron, and the zombies are gonna duke it out to the end, or like it's just gonna be like a mixture of everything, like the zombies, the Doctor Strange, everybody in between, like everything that we've seen, like Party Thor, and like I think and Captain Carter. I think maybe all of them are gonna like gang together like Avengers style and like go against this Ultron.
I think that could be a thing, but I also think that I would kind of see that as like a copy and paste, because it's almost kind of just reminds me of Endgame, like there's a big beam,
I mean,
and they just kind of like bring everybody together. I think the unanswered questions is what's going to come together. Like I think the zombies may be led by Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Like I think that.
Cool.
Do you think it like takes him over?
I think that we might see a little tie-in to our live action MCU, because they did say that this was
part
still
of the real thing.
Yeah. So this is still just as important, but I could see like a tie-in with Loki, like when he did something to the whole multiverse and everything like that. So
I could see that happening.
I feel like the only big tie-ins that might come out of it is like either more details on more Watchers or something else. Because I mean, like, how can you bring in like?
Isn't there only 3 Watchers or no? Or is there like a lot more?
That's what they're saying, and that's what all that we've seen in like at the end credits of Guardians of the Galaxy. We saw 3 of them.
Yeah.
But other than that, and then we also see the 3 in Loki, like the 3 Watchers. Yeah. So, but it hasn't been necessarily confirmed.
Okay.
So there could be more, based on different universes as well. There could be different Watchers. So
is there a Watcher watching the Watcher?
Whoa.
What do you think, John? What do you think is gonna happen in this last episode?
Dude, I think it's like gonna be like an interdimensional team up, like Dark Doctor Strange, kind of like that. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
A little Dark Doctor is gonna team up with like pretty much all the top dogs that I feel like we've kind of seen in these past episodes, and like kind of pull them from their like different dimensions.
To what, like Drew was saying, it's just gonna like
pretty much, yeah, no, and but like I just kind of hope that they do a different type of like twist on it though, because I don't want it to be like a copy and paste type of thing.
I agree with that. Yeah, maybe Elias will make an appearance. That'd be pretty cool.
Ooh, or they give us somebody from Eternals, or we see a Celestial.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe.
Those would actually be sick.
Yeah.
Celestial Bane.
Yeah, those guys are massive too.
Yeah, but we're super hyped though. We're super hyped for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. We're very excited. So you know the deal. Come in and watch the episode and come in and check with us because we're going to be talking all about it next week for sure. We're very excited for it. So stay tuned for that. But next, we're going to go ahead and get into more stuff that we've been keeping up with. Kicking it off with Visions.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you. Did you want to cover the next 6 next week?
Sure. Yeah, we can do all those since we still have a lot of other stuff to talk about.
And then, because
all right, fair deal.
Yay or nay there.
Yeah, since next week we're also a little dead, so
no, that's alright.
So we won't even worry about it.
After
but
those
first
3 episodes, I don't blame you.
Yeah. But all right, so if that's the case, we're going to talk about another big one. Actually, we're probably going to spend a good amount of time on this one because this is definitely a big one for us personally this week. Mm-hmm. But we went ahead and went to the theaters, actually, opening weekend, and we saw Venom. Venom. What's it called? Venom 2? What is it?
Let There Be Carnage.
Let There Be Carnage is the exact title. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. We're going to start, of course, spoiler-free because it did just come out this weekend. So let's go ahead and dive in kind of soft. Let's start off easy. What did you guys feel about this movie? How did you guys think? General feelings of it.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was better than the first one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I do have a couple gripes. Or, well, probably not a couple, just a few.
Okay. Done?
I thought it was really good. Hats off to them for... making all that money. Apparently they beat
they did make a ton of money. Yeah,
we'll talk about it a little bit later.
Mm-hmm. So, and I thought it was good. There's a lot of questions that needed to be answered, and I think that they did a good job in the direction. It was a little short. I thought it was a little shorter than what it had to be, but I thought it was good overall. Yeah.
Really, 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 really good movie. I've never seen the first one, so this was so much fun.
You never seen the first one?
I've never seen the first one. I tried, but I just never made it through. But really great.
Really okay. You've seen some of it. I just thought you meant like you'd never even
I've seen maybe like the first 10 minutes tops.
Tops.
Okay. Yeah. Of the first one, but the second one great.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed this movie too. I thought it was good. I think it suffered from not a few things, but just like the main things that stuck out to me, which we will dive into. But other than that, I love Tom Hardy as Venom.
Oh yeah.
And then Woody Harrelson, I thought he was great.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, because going into this one, I did not think he was gonna play a good Carnage.
Yeah. I was a little skeptical, but every piece of footage that they showed us, I was like, oh, all right, okay. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think same thing. It was
enjoyed it.
It was a pretty easy watch. I think, especially if you've seen the first one, it definitely has a lot of connections, obviously, to the first one. Mm-hmm. Like it has a lot of things that are ongoing and they kind of continue on.
Yeah.
Not just jokes, but situations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really interesting to see Carnage on screen. He's really different, that's for sure, and especially played by Woody Harrelson. Yeah. It was such a roller coaster, and that's exactly who Carnage is. He's just that kind of character that leads that on. But really, really interesting watch. I didn't come into this having high hopes or low hopes or anything. I just kind of came in with an open mind, and it was just I do admit it was shorter than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It definitely also kind of was one of those movies where it just kind of got to the point. It didn't, beat around the bush. It just kind of got its thing done. It did its stuff, and then it was all right, let's keep moving on to the next thing, which was, we'll dive into definitely that later. But let's go with the last question before we dive right into spoilers, because again, it is brand new. But that being said, how did you guys feel specifically about Carnage? What did you think about both Woody and Carnage himself, the way he looked, the things he did, the way he talked?
I thought his look was amazing.
Really?
And because I thought it was very, very good. It was a lot better than the first film's villain, that gray dude.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I thought it was way better than that character.
But you actually could see him though,
I know, yeah, and I think that's why,
looked more sturdy.
Plus, I didn't think he was a super dark red.
Yeah.
And even in the dark scenes, I think you could still see him.
He was a fleshy red, and that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, alright, so there's a couple times to where it kind of looked like they were just like veins and like arteries, like just like like going around, like intestines, just like yeah, no. So it got kind of gross, but I mean that's just a part of his game too.
I thought they looked good, especially compared to the first Venom ever with like Topher Grace.
We're talking about Dio sick.
Terrible. And I thought it looked good. You know, it's something like this. I'd imagine is gotta be pretty hard to bring the life into a what do they call it, like a real life movie, because it's literally so much CGI involved in this.
Oh yeah.
And they are like these kind of like liquid symbiote characters, and trying to make it look real is probably very difficult. And I'm glad they did a good job. I mean, even Carnage had different looks a little bit. His teeth were a little bit more jagged, a little more sharp compared to Venom. So I think that was a really good. I think they spent a good amount of time trying to make him look a little bit better.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and I'll add to that because like that's a good point. Like they like did make him look different too, but yet they're the same, but they're different. Which I think was a big improvement from the last one. Because like I said, like for the last one to me, obviously it was a new thing, so they were still working at it, but they definitely gotten better with it. But I was surprised with Cletus Cassidy though. Like actually like Woody walking around as that crazy looking psychopath. I was like, dude, if you look at him, he looks like he's a Grand Theft Auto character, and he was acting like it. Like especially when he went into the gas station. Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah,
it's not really a spoiler.
And like,
yeah,
you know,
he like took the car though too.
Yeah.
Scene, but
That was
wild.
so
there's a gas station
like,
scene.
that
But
was,
Yeah.
No spoiler.
But other than that, I definitely enjoyed Woody Harrelson.
Plus he had a lot of drip.
What did you think of Carnage?
He had drip.
He looked nasty. He looked nasty. I don't like looking at him. It made my
I
skin
like
crawl.
So I really, you know, it was really interesting because like that's exactly who he is, you know, and like he has a really cool, you know, like the thing that makes him unique compared to other symbiotes is that he has this like smoothness, yet his weaponry is sharp. He's always
sharp
very
and
bladed.
rough, yeah.
He's always very like, so you see like these tentacles always kind of come out of him, but at the end of them they look like cleavers almost, like these big blades at the end. It's so cool looking. Yeah. And on top of that was something that one of our special guests have pointed out, Nick, is that he was kind of complaining at first is that like he felt like Carnage was very skinny, very small, you know, like well no, he thought he was actually too jacked is what it was. He felt as though he should have been more skinny, which in the comics he's a lot smaller. He's thinner.
More of a slimmer.
He's more he's more of a kind of a creeper looking.
But he was kind of ripped in this one.
I was gonna say though, the thing I feel like it kind of worked well in this movie, the fact that he was a little bit like buff, because Venom is so wide and so big already, you know.
Yeah.
So it kind of ended up contrasting a little, you know, kind of well. Like it doesn't make him look like
Carnage was doing a cut.
hungry.
Yeah.
I also suppose though, like if they made him a little bit skinnier, a little bit slippier, like the CGI might not have been.
Yeah,
been
wouldn't have
very
hit
like
as hard,
gulpy, and I've been like,
That's true.
Well,
and I thought it looked good.
Well, the thing about like with body tracking CGI is that you can't make the CGI character thinner or shorter or smaller than the actual person that's being tracked. Now, without getting into spoilers, obviously the same situation like how we've seen before with Venom. You know, you see him change between his, you know, what's his name?
Brock and Venom.
Yeah, like it changes. So that's why when you see a lot of CGI characters, they're going to be taller, wider, bigger. Because they can't make the character's frame smaller.
Yeah, but what about Slenderman? Slenderman
he's
movie?
not real. He's a scrub.
Exactly, you're capping.
Slenderman.
Carnage isn't real either.
I know.
Slenderman.
But like that's like they couldn't have gotten him any smaller with the actor that they used for Carnage. What's his name? Woody
Harrelson. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not necessarily wide, but he is boxy. He's a thicky boy. So like
He's a very boxy man.
Because if you look at Carnage, where most of his wideness is his rib cage, which is where Woody's shoulders would land in the body tracking.
Well, that was some good insight. Some good little
Technology.
CGI insight from
Our
production busy bee.
But all right, so anyway, so now we're gonna go ahead and dive into our spoilers for Venom. Let There Be Carnage. So if you have not seen the movie, you know it did just come out. Go watch it. It's a really good movie. It's currently #1 in the U.S. right now. So go check it out and then come check back in because we're gonna be diving straight into spoilers and talking all about it. So starting off, So the movie overall had this kind of feel of like it was always just like back and forth between Venom and Brock.
Two storylines.
Couples counseling, quite literally. Yeah, it was always just like they were always at odds, and like eventually they just kind of leave each other, and eventually make their way back. But like, how did you guys feel about like that was kind of the focus of the movie? Of course on Carnage, but like. The main message was like, all right,
Yeah,
I think, it's kind of complicated because like the thing is that for the symbiote to work, they need to be like in a good relationship,
kind of symbiotic relationship.
So I see why they have to bring that like in. I was just hoping they would advance it a little bit further because you could tell they struggled in the last movie, but then at the end, like they kind of like come together and they're like, we can do whatever we want. But then it kind of takes another step back in terms of like now they hate each other for some reason, and then they kind of like. And I was actually kind of sad, though, because obviously a big part of it has to do with the fact that Eddie Brock isn't really all there. He's dealing with, like, the breakup and then the wedding and all that. And everything's kind of... And then he's also dealing with Cletus as well at his job. And the part that I think is pretty cool is that, when he's about to... Like, he's driving like crazy, and Venom tells him, like, slow down. And he's like, why? He's like, you could just fix me. And then, like, later on, he's telling him, he's like, I'm sorry, Eddie. Like, I can fix you, but I can't mend a broken heart. Like, I think that was, like, really, like, I thought they were going to advance from there, but then they didn't. And a big part of it is when they say, we are Venom, it means that they're not very bonded. Because he's saying we are Venom. It's when he says I am Venom, that's when they're fully, like one person together.
That's what I was hoping for.
I was hoping for that, too, movie. But, I mean... They still got a lot, I guess, to kind of go for. I mean, because they're into like a new area,
for sure.
So maybe they didn't do it yet.
But but I just thought that was gonna be like a good like turning point for them of like diving deeper of like, all right, because like I'm gonna try to help you, like get through this like tough little thing that's going on, and then that's gonna allow us to like bond like even more. But they just got even worse, and then he jumped out of him. And like I didn't think that was gonna happen at all, and then he kept bouncing around.
Yeah, I was sad to watch him bounce around.
Different hosts, and just like literally draining them till they like puked. Like it was wild.
And then you can tell Venom missed them though because like at the party he's like, I wish you can see like me right now, Eddie. And I was like, oh, it's sad.
And even when they left, it was weird though that Venom always held true to that thing that Brock told him was that don't eat people, like don't eat brains, don't kill anybody. And he could have, like he was off on his own. But he still didn't. He was still just eating his chocolate and his chicken. Like that was all it.
And he made best friends with them.
Exactly. But all right, so we had a lot of action in this movie. It wasn't actually a whole lot, but we definitely did see a lot more like Brock scenes. We saw a lot of Brock and his ex-fiance, more or less. And what a weird, wild situation, too, that they kind of focused on, like, his feelings for his ex, and stuff like that she's getting married and that he's not, obviously he's not with her anymore, but he still wants to be with her. They focused on that a lot in this movie. I feel like it was, like, a big, running thing throughout the entirety of it. How'd you guys feel about that? Like, it was very different, I would say, like, all kicking off. It's very different sort of chemistry. It brought a different feel to it, it was really weird, kind of weird. Yeah. But I don't know, like it also kind of helped, because it brought in the third character.
She was more a part of the movie than I thought she was gonna be. Like I thought,
it
was just gonna be her at the restaurant and her being the lawyer. And that's it. But then when it kept progressing more, I was like, whoa, she's kind of like a character in this movie. But I thought that we were gonna see less of her though. That's for sure.
So did I. Yeah, I didn't expect the focus on them, and then Dan too. Especially later down the movie when we see one of the final fights. Dan is really
Dan got a decent shot on Carnage,
and it's weird though because
burned his ass.
Even in the first one, Dan helps out Eddie a lot, and which is weird because usually people would be like, oh dude, what are you still doing with your ex-wife, my new wife, my fiance? So it's weird. He's kind of I think it was this. They did that a lot to try and get Tom Hardy to be more appreciative of their relationship and just kind of be like, you know what, they're in their relationship. I have mine now.
Yeah,
and I want to try. Yeah, so I want to because think about it, with Venom now, you're involved more into the world that they're in. He's not just this trying to get his life back now with being a news reporter and all that. He's actually trying to. He actually has a chance to become something, bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that now, I think Venom was trying to tell him that, but I think Eddie was like, I don't want to. And I really hate it when people are like, oh, I never asked for this. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, I would love to do something like that, you know? Like, otherwise, like, you're stuck trying to find a 9 to 5 or something, right? Like, it'd be cool. So, like, I think it was just a big, like, play on trying to, you know, let Eddie realize that they're in their relationship. Like, I'm in mine now. Let me try and figure this out.
But, yeah, no, and it was really interesting. So, like, and I want to talk about this in particular because we had so many different things going on in this movie. We had, of course, the ex-fiancé whole thing going on. We had the Venom and Brock thing going on. We had the Cletus and Carnage thing going on.
And his lady.
And we had the Cletus and his lady thing going on.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so I kind of want to get into that aspect because that was basically all of Cletus's big thing was that, of course, you know, we kind of delve into his childhood, right? We dive into that the fact that he killed his grandma, he killed his mom, and then his mom, you know, just so happened, you know, like.
Which I thought that was a clever way of kind of showing his backstory through that animation.
Right.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed how they did that. Obviously, I enjoyed what he was doing, but I thought it was cool how it went into like that stick figure, like kind of.
Did you like that? Yeah, did you like it too?
Oh, yeah.
His origin was like that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
How his origin was played out.
That was good.
I didn't really know much about it. I just knew that he was.
It's a very dark scene,
Yeah.
so like they kind of like introduced it because I mean it was either that or like let me actually throw my grandma down the stairs. Like,
So the only thing
actually
that
show it.
I didn't like about that was that like they kind of showed it, but then like we don't know until later that like you know obviously later that when Cletus explains he's like yeah but you forgot that like did you say that my grandma like was the one that abused me before like I did that or my mom like you know made my life a living hell before it led me to that. You didn't say any of that, you know, which is an interesting point that wasn't like mentioned up until the end, you know, like we never hear about that because I mean Brock doesn't hear about it and Brock never knows, you know. What do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like it should have been introduced earlier or like it was fine as is?
Like I felt like almost like along with that little animation that they did, like maybe.
I think they could have done it double because it would have reinforced the fact that like dude he was hurt. You know?
I think that also
he's
comes
gone
he was
through some
abused.
shit.
Exactly.
Well, I think that also comes in because obviously he wasn't just a killer just because he was a killer. Like he led into those problems, but I think also he didn't get there though. Because he did ask like Eddie to like you know keep visiting me so I can tell you my whole story. And then once Eddie found out where the bodies were, then everything kind of like so maybe he wanted to like break down to Eddie like over time of like this is why this happened, this is why this happened. But then like once he didn't, and then he got the Carnage symbiote, then he was like, all right, like you betrayed my like trust, like now I'm gonna go on this like Carnage rampage, and like so I think that was one of the reasons why they didn't introduce it into
which is
the
fair.
movie.
So another thing I wanted to ask you guys that I was kind of getting into, which was leading me to this point, was again I mentioned that like there were so many different things going on, the fiance, you know, the Carnage, and his you know and then speaking of, we'll run back around, but so Carnage's big thing was that he was with his lady, Screech. Right?
Yeah.
Or
she was my least
right? That was her name?
Are
you talking about...
That's exactly what I was
talking about...
Cassidy, sorry. Cassidy's
girl. Cassidy, yeah. Oh, it was either Screech or Shriek. It was one of those.
Shriek, I think is what it was. Yeah. Shriek.
So doesn't that girl get a symbiote at some point, or no?
No, Scream is a symbiote, but not
Scream, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah.
So the big part of his whole character was that he was in love with her, you know, like as a kid, like she was his only refuge at the asylum.
Right.
They met there and they fell in love, but they're both clearly not okay. They both cause a lot of pain to other people, but like they also do it to people that are kind of like douchebags back to them, right? You know, they're just kind of like getting justice for like the way they're treated or whatever. How did you feel about her in particular? What did you think of her?
I kind of didn't like her.
So in my opinion, I want to kick it off. She was probably the weakest part of this movie for me personally.
Yeah, I can see
She was, don't get me wrong, like her story and like the chemistry they had was interesting, but her as an actress and like seeing the stuff like she was doing on screen, like I don't know, it was weird.
Some of it felt weird to watch.
She's in Pirates of the Caribbean too.
And like
she
was like trying too hard.
She's the Calypso.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Which is weird because she's
actress.
great as Calypso.
Yeah.
She's an awesome actress as Calypso.
I think sometimes like
I don't know.
She's very out of place.
I think sometimes the way they ask you to like play the characters, I think maybe they told her like kind of be like Psycho, and then they probably don't understand the assignments very well.
Yeah, no, and like she could not stop doing this.
Yeah, and one of the that's true. And then there was that whole big thing where like Carnage was always like coming out, and he was like, "You shut up!" Like,
all right. That was the only thing that I thought was good about her. That there was like this dynamic of like that girl, and then like pretty much like this guy told me like, "Hey, shut your mouth! You're too loud. It pisses me off." Yeah. And like
it hurts me. It disables me.
Like I thought that was kind of crazy. That's where like Cletus was like, "No, like hey, don't hit her. Like that's my wife." He's like, "Yeah, well, her superpower can freaking kill me."
Yeah.
So what did you think about her?
Well, like, you gotta remember, she literally grew up in an asylum.
Yeah.
Like, she grew up isolated because of her power. You know? Like, nobody ever talked to her. Nobody ever went into her room. They put her in a giant glass box, gave her a typewriter to type on, and then they also put her inside of, like, I think when Carnage broke through it, it was
giant
just,
box,
like... They put her in a box, inside of a box, under the ground, underneath a building, underneath another building.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So, like, you know, like, she's gonna be doing those weird movements. She's not gonna know how to talk to people. But she also,
it's understandable, because, I mean, like, we do even have, like, we know people that, like, they're very awkward around people because they don't really, like, interact with people so much. And you're just kind of like, what? And it makes sense. I mean, like, everybody's different.
But I mean, like, I just can't, like...
as a character,
like, that power just pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that power. Yeah. Like, even for, like, different, like, characters and different things, like Black Canary.
Yeah.
I just think that power is really stupid.
No, same. I don't really care for it. I just think that she was somewhat of a, like... Her character is very awkward to, like watch.
You just so happen to love his, like, Achilles heel.
It's just
the
she
one
was
power
awkward,
that he's weak against.
But it's, like, I just think, like... She didn't play it well. Like this person that they chose, I just didn't think they played it well.
Like I thought she did okay. I didn't think it was like terrible, but I didn't think it was like amazing. I just think they mainly had her for like emotional relief to Cletus because like he was all he wanted was a friend, and then he finally found her, and she was her friend, and they were kind of like lovers. So she was like the one that was like, I like you for you, like I like you for actually being you.
Right.
So I thought that was her main reason of being there.
Yeah. So that's like. As a character, her superpower and how she was on screen, I did not appreciate it. I did not like it. Less of it. But the way she portrayed somebody who's in a box, and down on top of a building was perfect.
It was just like everything else was just kind of okay. It could have been written better, and it could have been done better.
Yeah, I think that's my gripe.
It was a very quick movie too, though.
On top of a lot of time. And so let's get into my final question. Well, let's go last two questions, of course, because we have to talk about an end credit scene. But final two questions and the rating, and then we'll get into the other stuff. So again, back on track again. Like again, I mentioned all the different dynamics, the different stuff, like going on throughout the movie, and I wanted to ask you guys, what was your kind of favorite like running sort of thing like that was focused on throughout the movie? Because again, we see the focus on Brock and his ex, we see the focus on Brock and Cassidy, we see the focus on Cassidy and Carnage, we see the focus on Venom and Brock. But in my opinion, I actually really liked the scenes that we saw with Brock and Cassidy, where like he's solving the case of like he looks at the wall of like his cell, and Venom, like obviously his photographic memory, he takes a full picture of it, and turns out he solves the case, right? And then like Cassidy is like, he's like, you left me in here, like you're supposed to ask me more, like this wasn't part of the deal, like he was pissed, and obviously like it leads to that. But in my opinion, like it was so interesting to watch like him like kind of solve the case and like go back and interview him again, and then of course like we see the bite which causes it off, but like they had such a cool like chemistry together, like it was so opposing but like really interesting, because like Cassidy was so off the rocker, but like Brock was slowly kind of getting there, but like he was still like trying to keep his shit together as best as he could, with what he had. But
I thought that was probably the best dynamic too, because I thought all the other ones like I felt like they kind of like didn't give them enough time for like because there was like a lot of different things going on, and there was just like the time was focused on that pretty good, but then like there was like these different things going on, and I didn't think there was enough time to like fill out those other like dynamics and
those other avenues.
Yeah.
What did you think?
My favorite one I thought was Brock and Venom, But except I wanted to see it go more, right? Like what Dom was saying
like
earlier.
Less of fighting each other and like bickering, but
like do that, but also like show them getting over it and then like going more into
together. Okay.
Like how their bond gets stronger.
Because I was gonna say that was gonna like be like probably my favorite one too.
Because it was my favorite one until like they just like kind of like went with it, took a couple steps back, and
exactly
back to square one. Well, not square one, but back where they started.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's hard. I mean, like the Brock Cletus one is very good. You know,
Cletus and Carnage was also very interesting. Like that they were like, together, like very like mad together.
They're just like anarchy, but like you could tell that they're not bonded because Cletus has his own like ideas.
Especially with that whole gas station scene that we were talking about earlier. Dude, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was very dark. And the thing is too that I was telling Martin is that like some of the comedy is kind of hard to hit because this is a very dark like area of Marvel, and they're trying to like kind of put like MCU comedy into it.
There was way too many jokes, man.
The best way
there's way too many jokes.
But go on, keep on.
Yeah, so like that one doesn't hit it. They need to make it a little bit more darker, in my opinion. And like, but that's how dark it can get, though. Is that like, dude, he didn't have to kill that guy, but he just stomps him. They didn't have to kill the priest, but they did anyways, which is like true. Which is crazy. And
they didn't have to tongue that guard, but they did anyways.
Yeah, so
I forgot about that.
So they're nasty. I think they're taking steps in the right direction, but I do think that the Venom Brock relationship is like the most important to me, because I just think that we need to see that advance so they can become like stronger and stronger,
especially with where they're leading to.
Yeah. So I think that one is probably the most.
Brie?
Honestly, I really think that the whole situation. I've never seen the first one, maybe the 10 minutes, but the whole bickering that happened between Venom and Brock, like, oh my god, that was so entertaining. I felt like I was like, I don't know, I was like watching like a teenage couple. Like, it was just so funny to me.
Yeah.
And then, but the other one, really quick, is the conversations that Carnage and Venom themselves were having. And the whole relationship between them as like, Father, I'm gonna kill you because there can only be one of us. And then he's like, oh shit, he's red, we can't do this. Like, we're out.
Oh shit, that's
like,
a red.
It's like the twins with red dye.
Oh shit, oh god, it's red. We're out. Run. Yeah. That's actually, yeah. So, definitely, that was very, very interesting to me.
All right, cool. And so we're going to get into our last question. This is the big moment that we've kind of been waiting for. Everybody's kind of been talking about this, is the end credit scene. So in this end credit scene, Venom basically kind of goes on vacation, more or less. Like, he's kind of out and about. And then before Brock and Venom, I should say, now that they're, one or more or less together. But then out of nowhere, as Venom is just about to give Eddie Brock all this knowledge that symbiotes happen to have, like, of the universe, different shit like that, there's a sort of like weird feeling, and everything kind of flips. Everything changes completely, and all of a sudden on the screen we see Jonah Jameson talking about Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and somebody, obviously. Peter catches Venom's attention. He says, "That boy."
He's very intrigued by
that boy. Who's that boy?
Like he almost kind of changes a little bit though from like what we've seen, because he's like goes into like, whoa, like who is that? Who's that? Him. Which I thought was super interesting. It felt like he kind of knew him.
Exactly. So that being said, many people speculate that this was like kind of put in at the last minute. There were very much like talks at the end, that
I think that's why it was delayed.
The delay, exactly. That's what many people are thinking is the reason for the delay is because they were really trying to figure out how they could put Venom in, or how they're gonna handle this, and I guess this is how they showed it.
They were like, no, we're just gonna do it.
It was exactly quite literally just like, what, screw it. Like, why are we making this hard on ourselves? Like, this is how we do it.
Let's just
do it. So all we have to do is just a blip.
Coconut ginormous watermelons between Kevin Feige's legs.
Yeah. And so speaking of which, this is clearly how obviously how everybody else that we've seen in the trailer so far got there. It's probably just like a quick flip of a switch, and they just so happen to appear in the universe.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but totally fine.
So I'll kick it off. But I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about this? This last scene. What do you think it's going to lead to? And I want to kick it off by saying, like, I don't think Venom will be in No Way Home until the end credit scene. Because I feel like based on the Sony talks and stuff that we've heard about, it's less likely that they gain the rights to have him, like, in shoots of the movie and stuff like
Right.
that. I feel like this whole deal, that everything that happened was kind of a last minute thing.
Oh yeah.
Especially based on the delay, like Dom had mentioned. So that being said, there's no way that they could have had Tom Hardy for the filming of this movie. You know, sad to say, let's be realistic. Based on what we see, it could have been maybe under the noses of Sony, but that's probably legal whole reasons, so they probably avoided that. But most likely they came up to a deal of that, like, most likely it's going to be one whole movie dedicated to Venom after this. I think it's going to be, Venom is going to play a big role in Spider-Man's next step after this, you know, wherever this leads, because we have no idea where this is going to take us. But in terms of Spider-Man, I feel like Venom is going to be a big part of it. And on top of that, I feel like this is just going to, like, be crazy. You know, this is going to open the door, but again, he's going to be at the end of the movie. Wherever he appears, it's going to be at the end.
Yeah,
it's going to be bananas.
Now, like, talking about it, like, it definitely makes more sense that he's probably an end credit scene, which is, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense because I just think that they wouldn't throw him in, especially like 2 months
CG
before.
or anything. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
But
really
like,
no
just
way.
to give us the taste right now.
Yeah, it's wild. It is wild.
Thank you.
And to even have came up to that deal.
Yeah,
to reach that deal.
Really
like, awesome.
quickly, like, I don't. Maybe saying that would be too much, but this is one of the biggest, like, jaw-dropping, like, end credit scenes that I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
So,
That's
like,
true.
Like, in terms of MCU movies.
Since when they introduced Thanos at the end of the first Avengers, I think genuinely.
Yeah, that was a pretty big bombshell.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I'm like trying to, like, figure out what was the last biggest one for me. But yeah, in terms of end credit scenes, this one's up there, man. Like, I have to really think.
Very good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like the thing is too is that there's a lot to process of this movie in general. Like obviously I need to look into like what Earth Venom is on originally because
it's different.
Because like the other thing that they kind of like hinted at is I'd imagine they're gonna introduce Toxin because one of Toxin's hosts is Mulligan and that was the detective's last name. And Let There Be Carnage. So maybe Toxin is like naturally like stronger than.
I just
well, he is like the way it works with symbiosis. The descendants are always stronger.
Yeah.
Than the
So I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. Also, like, is Venom like is he gonna be after Peter Parker? Is he gonna? It's weird.
That's I don't know. Yeah.
Because I mean, he's technically a lethal protector.
It's because I have this weird feeling. Oh, go on.
No. That's what I was saying.
I was gonna say. I have this weird feeling that I think the MCU is really, really, really trying to get their hands on black suit Spider-Man. Legit black suit Spider-Man. Not the one that we're going to see in No Way Home. But I think we're going to see a sort of dynamic
like
with this
where
because...
it's that Venom...
Yeah,
exactly.
Venom kind of symbiotic.
Because that's what I was going to say. Because for Spider-Man, this is Spider-Man's top three. It's Green Goblin, Doc Ock, more or less, yeah, sometimes. And Venom. Venom is like... Or even Venom could be in front of Doc Ock. Or even number one, we always see Venom as top three for sure. So I feel like the MCU is going to kind of dedicate that time to him, because he's good. And Tom Hardy, we've already had to
and it's gonna. I just hope also that because Flash Thompson is also Venom as well, and
anti-Venom. Well, actually,
no,
technically,
he's Venom. But
Agent Venom.
Agent Venom.
I do not want Flash to become Venom though because he's that random kid that's always climbing Peter Parker. That would be terrible. Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen though because and it's very
and that's what I mentioned earlier. Maybe like Tom Hardy will be Agent Venom, but just Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I mean
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Guy. You never know.
Yeah, no, and it's because I could like definitely see it like going that way too. But it's also because I was thinking about it too of like. It's going to be weird to see Venom jump to Peter Parker because it's like they just built this dynamic again that it's like, all right, they're back to being good. So then it's like he sees Peter Parker and it's like, oh, wait, no. That guy, I'm down bad for Peter Parker. Yeah, no, dude. He's trying to get these hoes now. I don't know. I think it's going to be a weird dynamic at first.
There's a lot of questions. Like, is Eddie Brock like going to be a villain at first? Or is it going to like turn it? Is Venom going to like...
It just automatically help.
Yeah, and then one of the most interesting things too is that Venom is like the only one that doesn't activate Peter Parker's Spidey sense, so he can't detect when Venom's coming or when he's attacking. It's just like a straight like.
And on top of that, Eddie Brock always had that kind of vendetta against Spider-Man because of like you took away my job, you ruined my life, But we don't see that this time around. We don't have that dynamic, so it's very, very.
And he's like a good character too, and
he's
he
trying to be good,
doesn't want to kill people.
Exactly.
So it's like, are we gonna see that turn?
Agent Venom. That's why I'm saying because
Yeah, they introduced a whole nother like aspect.
Just a can of worms.
As well as I don't think Venom's done because obviously I think Toxin's gonna be involved. So,
but all right, so last, well, let's go ahead and go into rating, and then we'll continue on. But I want to give this movie a solid 8. I think it was a really, really interesting movie. Oddly enough, this felt like the most DC Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like it had such a dark DC vibe that all DC movies kind of have, but it was trying to stay campy and happy like other Marvel movies.
The MCU and
of course keep it. It ended up connecting to the MCU after all, which is something that I don't think anybody really expected at all.
Yeah. With a whole lot of extension cords.
Exactly, but connected nonetheless. Right? But it connected nonetheless, which is really exciting to see. So I want to give it a solid 8. Very interesting movie. Again, like very DC feeling movie, but really cool.
You might have to bonk me for this score because I'm gonna give it a 6.9.
Whoa.
Only because, like I said, the timing, kind of fucked with this movie like a decent amount. I felt like, the pacing, it was alright. I wish we got to see the relationship between Eddie Brock and Venom more. So I think it suffered there. And a couple of side characters, I didn't really gravitate towards them. But other than that, this was an enjoying movie to watch. But yeah, 6.9. Bonk.
Yeah, no. Bonk.
I'm going to go ahead and cap it off at an 8.2. I actually really enjoyed these movies. I'm a big Venom fan. I'm a big Symbiote fan. I have a lot of their comics, and I think they're doing a good job. I mean, it's a new area to explore, and they took a little risk doing the first one, and then obviously now it's part of the MCU, so we'll see what they do. I'm gonna give it 8.2.
Good score. I'm
gonna give it an 8.1. Honestly, from the viewpoint of I'm not a diehard Marvel fan. I don't know a lot of the comics or storylines aside from the main ones.
And you didn't see the first movie.
And I didn't see the first movie, but it was just so easy to jump into this one. If you have a general grasp on just what a superhero or an anti-hero is, you'll love the movie. You'll enjoy it at the very least. Definitely.
For sure. God damn it, Matt. Kind of took my score on this one. I was gonna go 6.9.
Also, all right.
But I'm gonna go 7.0.
Oh.
Yeah.
Score.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Flat score. I thought this was a good movie, and it was really pulling me in. But then, it was only an hour and 37 minutes.
Yeah.
And I would have been totally fine if this was 2 hours.
2 hours.
For sure, yeah, no, because there's a lot of good things going on in this one for sure. That at first that I was like, wait, all right, there's this dynamic over here, these two characters over here, and it's everything's developing, and then I feel there's a lot of things that fizzle out, and because I just feel it would have been pretty cool to see a lot kind of more of this movie, and then I just thought that Venom and Brock were gonna figure it out and become even better, but that's my score though.
All right, cool.
Real quick before we finish off with this movie I know. Be nice to your movie theater people. There are billions of you going in to watch the movie. If you drop your popcorn, ask for a new one. Don't yell at us, please.
Oh.
Please, we love each and every one of you. Yeah. We want you to enjoy the movie. Be nice.
Be nice.
Yeah.
PSA.
Okay, cool. So, all right, we're going to dive into our yay or nay bit. That was going to be it for Venom. Close us out. Now we're going to dive into the stuff, yay or nay stuff that's going on in the world, stuff that's we're going to go super, super fast. So next we're going to get into Star Wars Andor. So that's Cassian Andor. They, made a solo. Yeah. Okay. It's a show, I believe.
Andor.
And it's a show set to hit Disney Plus on 2022, focused solely again on Cassian Andor, which was the one one of the main characters we saw in Rogue One. So, what do you guys feel about that? They finished wrapping the show. What do you guys think?
Yay.
Yeah,
I love
I'm gonna give it a yay. Star Wars has been on a nice hot streak. I think they took a minor step back with Visions. I just didn't appreciate it that much. But it'd be nice to see all the new shows are coming out, and I think Andor is gonna be interesting.
You said yay. You said yay.
Definitely a yay.
Yeah, because we met that.
Just a great squad, and Andor. Yeah, we love Andor.
And Bree, yay.
Yay.
And I'm gonna say yay because Diego Luna is pretty cool on the screen.
Yeah,
Played Cassian Andor pretty well.
Sick stash.
And we'll
He's
get
got
to
a
see
great stash on him.
more live action shows. You know,
Rogue
so
One
very
was a great
excited.
one, yeah.
So next we're gonna dive into Book of Boba Fett has officially released the poster that they're gonna be coming out with, and also the official streaming date, which is gonna be December 29th.
What?
Book of Boba Fett.
December 20. Oh,
Just looks like a boss ass bitch.
You know, I'm
man.
gonna say
Just a
yay.
little nice
He looks
little Christmas
good
present.
on the throne,
Yeah,
Jabba's throne.
Uh-huh.
Very nice to see.
Well, they did
Like,
come out earlier saying
love
that
it.
it was gonna release in December. So I'm gonna say yay. I'm super excited, especially
Screaming
because one of the guys from Boba Fett said this is all killer and thriller, no filler. So
Whoa.
I want them to really
We'd
come
love to hear
out
that.
and
Just if it rhymes, it's
Wow.
true.
I want to
Yeah.
see Boba Fett really crush it.
Just if it rhymes, it's true.
Yeah.
All right, next we're going to dive into Henry Cavill. So Henry Cavill was recently, now that 007, James Bond,
Daniel
the
Craig,
role, Daniel Craig will be leaving the role. So the role is currently going to be open.
Give it to Idris.
There's really no words on plans on who's going to be
hope
who's going to be
it's Idris.
casted. We're hoping for Idris Elba, but many people were talking about Henry Cavill as taking on the role. But turns out they went ahead and asked
He's not a
him,
British
and
bollocks.
he's actually
Or
more
English
psyched about playing a 007 villain than he would be about playing actually James Bond.
I think
How do
that's
you guys feel
fair.
about that?
I think that's fair.
he'd be a
He
cool
would.
I
ass
think
villain.
I think
He'll
the
be
way I
cool
see
as
it,
villain.
it's like, dude, you already got Superman. Like, all right,
Yeah.
give somebody else 007. Like,
Yeah.
you already
You know,
got one
too,
of the
he might
biggest
not be
ones,
willing
like, come on.
to commit to another big thing like
Big
this. He might just
role,
think
yeah,
I
I wanna
did
be
Superman
free.
and that was a mess.
Yeah, it's
After
like
a while.
I don't wanna be
maybe
locked
DC
in.
just
Yeah.
scared him away to locking into something.
And so I think
commitment issues.
yeah, dude, it's good. And then imagine if they cast Idris and it's like Idris versus Cavill. Like that would be
Oh
amazing.
my
so
God.
sick. Yeah, that'd be
couple
awesome.
of
Maybe-
So many
missiles.
amazing
Just a couple of
And then to
British
add along
missiles.
with the whole girl issue, like what if Henry Cavill teams up with Bond's sister? What if she's evil and they go against him?
Ooh.
That'd be
Or,
sick.
we never know. So,
Very cool.
So yeah,
Very cool.
We're
Yeah. We're in.
I could see that, for sure.
We're in there like
Alright.
swimwear.
Next, so Scarlett Johansson. There's some news on Scarlett Johansson and the Disney lawsuit case
Right.
has been settled. It wasn't specifically specified whether it was settled in court or out of court. I believe that I have here, anyways. But the settlement was, over $40 million. Part of the settlement. What do you guys think about that?
The bag
That
was
it's
secured.
over and done with. Bag was
We're
secured.
happy
What do you
for
think?
our girl.
Yeah.
Yay
Go
that
off
this whole
queens.
situation
She got
is
her bag.
Yeah.
settled because this is it kind of sucks to see it
And yay that you
work
got
like this.
justice, for
yeah.
getting
I
it
mean,
kind
this
of
whole
ripped
thing.
off.
I mean, I'm
Chris,
sure
you kinda
Disney
Taking it to the
bit.
big wigs, man.
Disney
to the
pulled
suits.
out their
The suits.
they're like, what's in my pocket? 40, just give it to her. Because I mean, Disney's like monsters, so they're like, just give it to her. Let's figure this out and move forward. 'Cause,
Honestly, that's probably
Yeah.
pocket change
I'm
for
just-
Disney.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I just hope this doesn't deter her from coming back.
Yeah.
Whether it be a cameo, whether it be anything, whether she's never gonna come back to Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
She's just this perfect person to play that,
Oh,
that
yeah,
character.
Yeah, yeah.
I think she might be done though. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think they're gonna
That's what
focus
I
on
think,
Yellow
too.
now more.
Oh, I hope so. She's
I hope so, too.
so bomb.
Yeah.
All right, but next we're going to go ahead and talk
Bonk.
about.
Whoa.
So Ben Affleck recently was quoted on saying, so there was many talks about this whole new Flash movie that DC is putting on. Many people think it's a Flashpoint movie. There's
hope
really
it is.
nothing concrete as of late. We're really not getting a whole lot of details, but. Interestingly enough, there's been a whole fiasco about the old Batman suit covered in the flash spray, and there's also talks about what's his name, the original actor, Michael Keaton, yes, coming back to fulfill the role once again. But recently there was some news that Ben Affleck went on record saying that he had fun playing Batman in The Flash after Justice League was difficult. So, it's a whole lot of garbage up in the air. There's just a whole lot of stuff that he threw against the wall. Really interesting. He was quoted also saying, "This was really lovely, period, really fun." And, man, so this movie is going to be set to be in theaters November 4th, 2022. Clearly, they didn't have a sort of, PR talk with him where, nah, dude, don't even talk about the movie, don't release anything. He just went full blast, just straight up, and people didn't even know that he was going to be in the movie, you were
I
saying.
didn't even know that he was supposed to be in this movie, so it sounds like they are going to do a Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple Batman Batman.
Batman now, yeah. Well, now that are going to be together, apparently.
Yeah, Batman involved.
Wasn't this movie supposed to come out in like 2018?
It was supposed to come out 2019 in March.
It's like 3
Almost
years
on my birthday.
later.
Yeah,
but
you know what? That's what you get from a dumpster fire.
Well, I'm gonna kick it off with the Nay and say, you know what? Like, I thought Ben Affleck was done. I thought he was done. I thought this universe is done, and I don't know if they're trying to like keep it alive somehow. I'm just gonna give it a Nay.
Well, I'm gonna oppose it, and I'm gonna say yay because like that means they're kind of caring about this whole Snyder cut thing. You know, like talks about Justice League. So that means maybe like in the background, maybe they're actually planning. Maybe they're scheming. I mean, the fact that they're bringing back Affleck for this clearly hints that it's connected to this Justice League thing, right? But even after he said it himself, he's like, after Justice League, like, this is pretty cool, you know? Like, so who knows? Maybe behind the scenes they're actually pulling some strings, tying some things together.
I just don't like the fact
I don't know.
That, like,
for it.
That it's like, everybody thought that Batfleck was, like, done, like, 3 times now. This is, like, the 3rd time that everyone thought, like, alright, no, done. But wait, because he's going to be in this Flash movie that we don't know what's going on, but it sounds like Flashpoint, so that's good. That's something at least for this dumpster fire. But yay!
Oh yeah.
I'm also gonna say yay because I'm.
But it's a very fierce, like kind of yay, like yay. Come on, figure it out.
Yeah, it better be Flashpoint. So you can reset this shit.
Mine's a nay, but prove me wrong nay. Like nay, but prove me wrong.
Okay.
There you go.
Mine is a get your hopes up, yay, and I'm gonna get super pissed
and punch some drywall.
Yeah.
And these last two we'll burn through super fast. So Venom has been announced as having the current biggest opening in the U.S. over 900 million, right?
Broke its own record.
Or 900,000, something like that.
I have no idea.
No, I think it's like
90 million or something.
I think it's like close to 90 million.
I think it was like 90 million.
Yeah, it was 90 million, 90.1 million.
Which is
beating
crazy.
Black Widow at 80 million.
And beating Shang-Chi.
And beating Shang-Chi, which is wild.
It's crazy.
Because honestly, I'm gonna say kind of nay because like I feel like I'll be honest, Shang-Chi like killed it, dude. Shang-Chi was insane.
Also, it's like a brand new character, so not a lot of people know.
Yeah, that's also true. But I mean, compared to like Venom, like movie-wise, straight up movie-wise, Shang-Chi was sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shang-Chi was unreal.
With
the effects, the dragon, like whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and
I mean, I'm gonna say yay. It's still a yay because obviously, you know, yay
obviously,
for,
like, it beats
comic
on record.
movies, stuff like that, yay.
But I just don't believe it, though.
Wild.
Like,
It's
that's,
nuts.
like, good for them, but it's, like, goddamn, like,
There's
you beat a
also
movie like Shang-Chi.
a lot of people that don't really care about the MCU that are watching this movie.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Just because it says Venom, and, like, that's such a popular title.
And I think what it is, I'm sure maybe many people think it's a Halloween movie, a scary movie. You know, like
it came out at the right time, dude.
October.
So that was good that they stuck to October.
I think Black Widow would have taken it if they left it in. Oh, actually no, because Black Widow.
If it came out 5 years ago.
This is just opening weekend, but I guess yay for them because I mean it's a big step towards. And then now that not only did they do good in their opening, but their ending was amazing. So,
but like that's also kind of impressive because there's still restrictions and stuff with COVID and stuff, and they still put up numbers. So you have to give them props.
Yeah, no, the pandemic numbers are crazy.
But all right, last little thing for our year name, real fast. So it's a little complicated, but apparently there are some rumors that Gina Carano will be back in The Mandalorian, playing what was her character's name?
Big strong lady.
Big strong lady.
Big strong. D lineman. I think.
Cara Dune.
Yeah.
Cara Dune.
Gina Carano.
So I want to kick it off. I want to kick it off by saying, nay, like I just with all the drama and stuff, like, and since she's such an early character, just recast it. Same thing with Johnny Depp, dude. Cancel culture. Same thing. Just replace him, you know. And same thing with Audrey Hepburn. She should have been replaced as well. You know, it's early on.
Once you get into Heat.
Who's Audrey Hepburn? Amber Heard?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Amber Heard. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sorry, Amber Heard.
I was like, what?
Yeah, but like since she's early on in the character, like the character hasn't really been super developed as of yet. You know, through The Mandalorian. You know, so just recast her, dude. You know, avoid the drama. Just recast her.
It's hard because I mean she's not a very big she is a big character in the movie. Obviously, she grows The Mandalorian, but it's like, where are you gonna find another big, menacing,
big strong girl?
Like,
that'd be terrible.
But like,
another UFC fighter?
She's not even that big.
Like a softness. Like she still has kind of like that stage presence where it's like, you know, like, hey, I'm big, I'm intimidating, I know I scare you, but like.
Well, she even had like small like connections, like romantic styles.
Yeah.
Almost. Romantic styles with Mandalorian, and I'm truthfully, I'm gonna give it a yay because I thought her character was good, and Disney. I remember Disney backtracked on this as soon as they fired her. They asked her, they're like, "Hey, can you just come back?" And then she was like,
"Which I knew was gonna
She was like, "No, like
left
fuck
him
you
on
guys."
red for a little bit.
So,
if they bang, I'm down.
I'm gonna what? Man.
Yeah. All right. So last two little bits, real fast. Pokemon Arceus came out with a final trailer showing off some noble Pokemon, I should say, one particular, which is brand new. So currently in Pokemon, they're the big two, legendary and mythical, but now we're introduced to noble Pokemon, which is going to be old style, basically kind of like ancient old style, or extinct Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it hasn't really necessarily, but this is the best thing. Yeah, many people are thinking. How'd you guys feel about the trailer?
I love it, dude.
Very
awesome. Very Breath of the Wild-esque.
Yeah, it's very open.
That's what the fans have been wanting, though.
So, and that's interesting because I read an article saying that people are speculating whether or not it will be truly open world. People think that it's going to be sectioned off, kind of like how Pokemon has always been, where it's like these kind of cities, these areas. So you're going to open into like an open area, and then it's just that area, and then you go on to the different areas.
Yeah, that's how Sword and Shield was. It was
exactly.
Oh, it's open world. No, it's not.
Yeah, well, that's how every Pokemon is. You know, they always have their like realm areas or whatever.
Hopefully, it truly is.
But still looks good, gameplay wise, beautiful graphics, beautiful. Good to see them, just like Breath of the Wild.
It definitely, oh my god.
Well,
and then the
customizations
too.
Figure it out.
Oh, the customizations that are coming with this game too are going to be top tier. We're very excited.
Very pretty good.
I can't wait to take pictures with my Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then the different clothes and stuff. Yeah. All right, and then, last thing before we get into John's homework, our spooky homework. So, Nintendo 64 Switch games are going to be on Switch. This was something we talked about last week that they announced that on Nintendo Switch Online, they're going to add an add-on to which you can play classic Nintendo 64 games and Sega Genesis games. But on top of that, they announced that these N64 games will not just be playable, but they're going to be online multiplayer. So you can play the original Smash, F-Zero, Mario Kart, all online. Mario Kart 64, all online. Isn't that insane?
Dude. It's going to be crazy.
Online gameplay for these old classic games. The first time,
like, that breaks my brain, like, that they were, like, able to figure that out. Yeah, no. It's
going to feel like a sin.
Oh, really? It's going to feel like a sin,
really excited. I don't know. And supposedly they're in talks that we might later down the line get Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games. On
GameCube?
So, GameCube, exactly. So,
GameCube. Go.
Just real hype for Switch,
Pokemon
dude.
Snap
Really exciting.
Pokemon Snap.
And Pokemon Snap's coming back.
Old Pokemon Snap.
I mean, if they get GameCube, that'd be crazy because then they could also bring back that Coliseum, the Pokemon
Coliseum. Yeah, that's a classic.
Oh, Pokemon Coliseum, let's go.
And I think Pokemon Coliseum is also on a different earlier version is on the 64
probably,
so for sure. Well,
South Park is too, which is weird.
But all right, so that's going to be pretty much it for our podcast. That was our gaming bit. So next, our final thing, well, actually second and final thing before we get into our questions and stuff, but we have some scary homework this time because it is October, scary month. So let's hear it from Senpai John.
All right, so
it's not too scary.
Pretty scary. Pretty spooky, actually. I would even say terrifying. Because this is the terrifying tales of Star Wars.
Oh my god, the one that just
released. The Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales focuses on Poe and BB-8. And they go through Darth Vader's castle.
Yeah. Well, they go through different stuff.
It
starts off with Darth Vader's castle.
Yeah, no. So it's a quick little watch just before we get into some very spooky stuff this month, probably. But give us a cue watch again because Doug Days, it just got me in a vibe. I'm sorry.
All right, so you heard it here. We're going to be watching the Star Wars, what are they called? Horror Tales? Is that what it's called?
Terrifying Tales.
Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales on Disney Plus. It is, you can watch it if you have Disney Plus. It's really not a long watch at all.
No.
About an hour maybe? Or
no, it's like 46 minutes.
Yeah, so about an hour.
Yeah.
But so easy watch. Go ahead and watch it with us. Go watch it at home and come check it back in next week because we're going to be talking about these Terrifying Tales of Lego Star Wars. But now we're going to get into our question. Anybody have a question this week? Anybody have
What's your favorite movie snack?
Ooh, interesting take.
Cookie dough bites.
Ooh, bunch of crunch.
Yeah.
Really?
Sorry, I'm in a mood.
And besides that one, I'm gonna keep it with the. So besides, what's your favorite Halloween? I mean, well, your movie snack. I want to ask you guys, what's your current favorite Halloween movie?
Ooh.
What's also your current favorite Halloween movie to eat with your favorite snack?
Oh.
And I'll follow with that too, and I'll say,
segue.
what's your favorite candy to get during Halloween?
Oh, with the snack, it goes along. You candy. Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah. What are you gonna say, huh? Say it.
Are you gonna grow out a mustache in November?
Oh.
No, you should say what
He's
you
just supposed to answer. He just came with another question.
I was like, yo, everyone's got a question today. So.
All right, I got a question.
Fuck.
What are you gonna be for Halloween?
That's a good one.
Do you wear two left socks or what? Oh, fuck.
Do you like Halloween socks?
No, baby. What's your favorite Halloween movie?
What's your favorite Halloween song?
There you go. That's a good one.
All right.
How do you feel about candy corn? It's very divided.
I have another question next week, but it's gonna involve Oreos. But all right, we'll talk about it next week. That's a big one. That's a very divisive one. But all right, so that's gonna be it for our pod. You heard it here first. Again, we're gonna be watching the Terrifying Tales of Lego Star Wars.
Very spooky stuff.
Very scary stuff. Very exciting. So watch out for that. Remember to follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. Again, we're going to be going live right after this. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're going to be posting. We also had last week's ramen stuff going nuts. So that was awesome. Remember to share us out. That was pretty awesome. We're going to be
never do a food competition ever again.
I'm probably going to cut together a little montage of that later too. So that's going to be awesome. Aside of the stuff that I'll add on the pod, but we look forward to that. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy Halloween. First early on, it's not Halloween just yet, but we're getting there. So, happy Halloween feelings. Happy Halloween, vibes.
And celebrate Halloween. Don't celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas yet. Fuck that.
Yeah,
like
Halloween.
Spend Halloween first.
Okay.
Don't be like Target and shit where they already have Christmas shit out.
Or the Sankas.
Oh.
No. It's not that crazy, but Thanksgiving stuff is up.
Yeah, thanks.
Exactly. So have a safe October. We're still going. So thank you guys once again for a very spooky episode this time around, and thank you for sticking around for the Buzz and the boys.
Pod Daddy, you do it so smooth, Pod Daddy.
All right, everybody. See you next week.
Too scary.
Too scary.
I don't play this game anymore. Stop.